sold locale, not just on the spot trades, for instance, Coinbase here. Likewise, looking on the future outline on purchasing bid, we are exchanging the oversold locale on the ordinary time frame on the RSI marker, and generally talking, this here has been a monster purchasing sign for the bid contain itself. Eventually, something else that I genuinely need to rapidly make reference to will occur with the financial exchange, US 100, as well as S&P 500, the two of them, which are exceptionally connected with the offered contain itself. It seems like we are taking out our past low. Some liquidity has, on the other hand, been taken on the S&P 500, as well as on the US 100 structure. By the by, as alluded to in advance, the low on the spot trades on Bitcoin, on Coinbase, and obviously besides on Bitstamp has not been taken. To that end, I'm telling to you, liquidity graphs are exceptionally enormous. We, in particular, need to rack fundamentally more individuals before Bitcoin can go on with its way towards the logical expansion, once more, since dollar cash report for the going with a long time, for the going with some time, in some activity according to my viewpoint, is really offering an exceptionally wonderful hint of strength. I genuinely figure DXY can go higher, S&P 500 US 100, and obviously likewise the COM regard itself can go lower in the next few months. That being said, we are by and large essentially searching for a little push towards the contrary here. Get everybody bullish once more. Really around and go on with our way towards a couple of sight on the grounds that, as alluded to in advance, I truly think some sort of a help with winding around will happen on Bitcoin on a very basic level, considering the way that the RSI marker on the customary period of time is being oversold. So tolerating for the time being that you're correct presently searching for barely out of the plastic new exchanges, I would concur, this particular region. I wouldn't be searching for a faultless short having a spot. I would just be searching for a purchase or a credit position after the liquidity under our past advancement rate here will be taken at this point. Thankful. Find an extraordinary day in concordance. After an insane occurrence, Bitcoin has now been trading almost at exactly a relative district anyway extended days. Greater part is getting strikingly peevish if the base for Bitcoin is right now in because an essential buy signal is shining, and we will apply on our outline a hashtag marker that, as per my perspective, a lot of retail trailers are zeroing in on them fundamentally every single time. Obviously, would it be smart for me, I truly say, every single time we got a buy signal, Bitcoin got a fundamental helper towards the sensible addition. 2 or 3 months sooner, January 2023, buy signal occurred. The base for Bitcoin was insisted and we got an insane helper towards the possible augmentation. Furthermore, here, buy signal. All-time high on Bitcoin was guaranteed and furthermore outlined in like manner as of now. For example, 2019, 2020, every single time a buy signal on Bitcoin truly occurred, we got an insane push towards the possible addition, and as I ought to think, clearly, a lot of retail carriers, a different gathering are right before long zeroing in on the buying signal that occurred on Bitcoin 2 or 3 days sooner. Notwithstanding, I would concur that this buying signal here is truly novel to all the particular buy hails that we have been getting for the New Year's here, and let me show you why. Zooming into the expense movement once more on the little by little time span, it is evidently the week that we requested the buy signal here was the earlier week we got a fundamental push towards the downside, yet expecting you make now, for example, search in the past when we got the buy signal. This buy signal overall was ensured after an insane push toward the possible addition, and positively it was not followed by fundamental difficulty in 2023 January. Pushed towards something in spite of Bitcoin, and we happened with our way on an extremely fundamental level higher. Similarly, besides, for example, here, we confirmed a buy signal. We happened with our way towards the ordinary development. We affirmed a buy signal here. We happened with our way towards the reverse, yet as of the continuous second, it is evidently that, yes, the buy signal here was truly pronounced. In any case, Bitcoin for the new days is really seeing a push towards the damage. So what could that mean now, as I ought to think, clearly, considering the way that we got an approval of the buy signal here? The buy signal? Unquestionably. It will be genuine. Anyway, I don't think it is really going to play out definitively as our past buy hails that Bitcoin is quickly going to happen with our way towards the plausible extension. I truly feel that it will wrap up really working. At any rate, I truly think being I is going very similar to what was also occurring here in July 2022. The buy signal at this specific region was asserted. Bitcoin got a little push towards the possible augmentation. In any case, 2 or following 3 weeks, we got another push towards the possible augmentation, and exclusively after Bitcoin changed some kind of a higher low, we happened with a gigantic bull run towards an ideal old high. So I do think, for certain, this buy signal here will be gigantic. I genuinely figure Bitcoin has a more space to drop towards some side ahead of time, another little push toward the possible addition, join for the going with several months at this specific locale before this buy signal. It's really going to change into a fundamental part before Bitcoin is genuinely going to continue its way on an extremely essential level higher towards the potential addition now. Another especially hypnotizing thing that I truly need to surrender to you is moreover going to be on a step-by-step time span, since I saw that specific people are very negative on the bid contain itself. We have been examining this specific disk slipping channel for a genuinely conceded time span, and you will see that it looks like until this date, the most raised clarification for our plunging channel has been respected very charmingly. The slanted area of help, inconceivably good area of help. The mid-level, also inconceivably particularly respected. Likewise, clearly, Bitcoin has been coordinating towards the typical addition, hit the most basic clarification for our slipping channel, and as of the continuous second, we are getting a reaction and an excusal unequivocally at this specific locale. Right now, as suggested quite a bit early, certain people are getting very wary from Bitcoin, expecting that we will drop essentially towards a fuse side in the following couple of days, in the next few weeks. As of now, as per my perspective, it's really not remarkably imaginable, especially looking how quickly this specific expense improvement on Bitcoin genuinely looks. Anyway, everything considered goes a ton of lower towards AM side. You will see that the mid-level of our sliding channel is then going to be our next help level. Again clearly, centering just to this specific sliding channel. Also, accepting we really happen with our way towards AM side, the mid-level will come up exactly at our past lows, generally at $15,500. Again, as per my perspective, it's not stunningly true. In any event, would restlessly guarantee you to plot this specific slipping channel on your outline, interface your previous lows, relax towards the past high, and you will believe definitively similar assist locales with having right now on the graph. Again, regardless, as suggested somewhat early, as per my perspective, in the following couple of days, maybe in the next few hours, for the most part an ideal lower low on Bitcoin is very sensible, nearly to what I posted several days sooner on Twitter here. Startlingly, I genuinely feel that Bitcoin will go lower soon and take out the low at $24,750. Patience will pay off. Right now, let me share with you why another push towards downset, as per my perspective, is to some degree more possible before we truly check out at it as a general rule. Permit me to provide for you why another push towards downset, genuinely as per my perspective, it's exceptionally sensible. So we will take out the low on furthermore spot exchanges at $24,750. Might we anytime look at right now what 100 people have been doing on the Bitcoin frame itself? You are seeing that insane open compensation increase has been happening for the new hours, and that suggests totally new money is coming into the market. People are captivated trading Bitcoin definitively at this specific locale. At this point we ought to look at expecting that they are longing or shorting the Bitcoin cost. As of the continuous second, I would concur that looking at the CVD marker, we are really, as of this second, genuinely seeing a little lower high rate here. Notwithstanding, zeroing in on the piece solidify itself, we are seeing massive lower high. So I would agree that the locale where we are setting up this second, we are seeing some assimilation happening on the Bitcoin respect itself. Additionally, expecting we go right now with our scarcely out of the plastic new turn places, you will see that our unmarred step-by-step turn for Bitcoin was recognized. As per a genuine perspective, unequivocally at our liquidity level, truly under our past low, which as I ought to think, fosters the probability that we will drop even lower towards anticipation in the following couple of days. So again, understanding that we are in a major downtrend, for example, expecting you go with our astounding fill midpoints on the 1 hour time span, expecting you look right now at the market structure as a general rule, we are certainly trading a downtrend locally, chatting on the 1 hourly, 2 hourly, furthermore doubtlessly on the 4 hour time span. I really think we have a higher probability of from an overall perspective taking out our past low, maybe not conclusively on the future graph in view clearly here we actually took out the low. Regardless, in any case, as I suggested 2 days sooner, center towards the wonderful Fibo-Ni degree, and what's more towards our 0.786 super Ni treatment level if there are truly going to be head going prior to going with an ideal, long or a buying position on the bid contain itself. Right now something different that. It looks some kind of centered for the going with 2 or 3 days. Here will be that our constant expense action on the 1 hourly, on the 30-second, on the 15-second time span looks incomprehensibly steady. Looks inconceivably unwanted here. So I would agree that our constant expense action isn't truly showing us that the base for Bitcoin is in, and I would concur thinking about how we are seeing a fix after an inspiration towards hindrance or something to that effect. Besides, the volume will confirm us that most conceivable this specific expense improvement is a cure or something to that effect. Since volume for the new days here is almost non-existent, I would concur. Astoundingly high probability. We are on an extremely fundamental level going to take out our past low, taking a gander at this point on the spot exchanges at $24,750 US. At last, after the low conceivably will be typical out in the next few days, since right now our apprehension and cross-portion record, it's at the area of 35. People are all around appalling, people are getting terrified, but we will understand that clearly the liquidity on Bitcoin will be taken. We will fathom that looking on the RSI marker, we are trading the oversold district, not simply on the spot exchanges, for example, Coinbase here. Moreover, looking on the future diagram on buying bid, we are trading the oversold district on the customary time period on the RSI marker, and by and large talking, this here, has been a beast buying sign for the bid contain itself. At last, something different that I really need to quickly make reference to will happen with a monetary trade, US 100, as well as S&P 500, both of them, which are extraordinarily associated with the offered contain itself. It appears as though we are taking out our past low, some liquidity has then again been taken on the S&P 500, as well as on the US 100 construction. Coincidentally, as suggested ahead of time, the low on the spot exchanges on Bitcoin, on Coinbase, and clearly close to on Bitstamp has not been taken. To that end, I'm telling to you liquidity diagrams are outstandingly gigantic. We, specifically, need to rack in a general sense more people before Bitcoin can happen with its way towards the legitimate development. Again, since dollar cash report for the going with quite a while, for the going with some time, in some action as per my perspective, is truly offering a particularly magnificent sprinkle of solidarity. I really figure DXY can go higher S&P 500 US 100, and clearly in like manner the calm respect itself can go lower in the following couple of months. That being said, we are overall basically looking for a little push towards the opposite here. Yet again get everyone bullish. Truly around then happen with our way towards 2 or 3 side, because as suggested ahead of time, I genuinely think some kind of an assistance with twisting around will occur on Bitcoin on an extremely fundamental level, considering the way that the RSI marker on the standard time frame is being oversold. So enduring for the time being that you're right by and by looking for scarcely out of the plastic new trades, I would agree, this specific district. I wouldn't be looking for a flawless short having a spot. I would only be looking for a buy or a credit position after the liquidity under our past progression rate here will be taken as of now. Grateful. Track down an uncommon day in concordance. After a crazy event, Bitcoin has now been exchanging nearly at precisely a general locale at any rate expanded days. Larger part is getting strikingly crabby on the off chance that the base for Bitcoin is correct now, in light of the fact that a fundamental purchase signal is sparkling, and we will apply on our blueprint a hash accept marker that, according to my point of view, a great deal of retail trailers are focusing in on them generally each and every time. Clearly would it be a good idea for me, I genuinely say, each and every time we got a purchase signal, Bitcoin got a major partner towards the reasonable expansion. A few months sooner, January 2023, purchase signal happened. The base for Bitcoin was demanded and we got a crazy aid towards the conceivable expansion. Besides, here, purchase signal. All-time high on Bitcoin was ensured and besides framed in this way at this point. For instance, 2019, 2020, each and every time a purchase signal on Bitcoin really happened, we got a crazy push towards the conceivable expansion, and as I should naturally suspect, obviously, a ton of retail transporters, an alternate get-together are just in a little while focusing in on the purchasing signal that happened on Bitcoin a few days sooner. Regardless, I would agree that this purchasing signal here is genuinely novel to all the specific purchase hails that we have been getting for the New Year's here, and let me show you why. Yet again zooming into the cost development on the gradually period of time, it is obviously the week that we mentioned the purchase signal here was the previous week we got a basic Push towards the disadvantage, yet expecting you make now. For instance, search in the past when we got the buy signal. This buy signal generally was guaranteed after a crazy push toward a conceivable expansion, and emphatically it was not trailed by major trouble in 2023 January. Pushed towards something despite Bitcoin, and we occurred with our way on a very basic level higher. Essentially, moreover, for instance, here, we affirmed a buy signal. We occurred with our way towards the conventional turn of events. We confirmed a buy signal here. We occurred with our way towards the opposite, yet as of the constant second, it is obviously that, yes, the buy signal here was really articulated. Regardless, Bitcoin for the new days is truly seeing a push towards the harm. So what could that mean now, as I should naturally suspect, obviously, taking into account the way that we got an endorsement of the buy signal here. The buy signal? Verifiably. It will be authentic. At any rate, I don't think it is truly going to play out authoritatively, as our past buy hails that Bitcoin is rapidly going to occur with our way towards the conceivable expansion.